baby praying mantis. It's second or third molting. Maybe 3/4 of an inch long now. So it's June 21st. First day of summer. Summer update video. So, mulch I did last winter, spring. Covered all of the black-eyed Susans. These black-eyed Susans were kind of outside the planter, you know, so they never got covered. And I let them kind of grow up. The big broadleaves are evening primrose. So it doesn't look like much now. These are the broadleaves that were laying down on the ground. Pushed through the mulch no problem. They're about 5-6 feet tall now. 5 feet tall. This evening, you know, once the sun starts setting, these will pop open, you know, open up to these yellow flowers, just rings of yellow flowers. And then there's some hummingbird moths that fly around and pollinate them, drink the nectars. So I'm gonna come back this evening, maybe like around 7, see if we can catch those things opening up and the hummingbird moths whirling around. Magical to see. Compost toilet. It's doing good. This fig, not spectacular, but you know, it's still alive, still growing. Sunshine blueberry. So these are 3 heirloom Victoria rhubarbs I planted. Perennial. Like right there's a asparagus. There's a couple asparagus in here. Let's see what we got. There's asparagus right there. A little asparagus, asparagus and rhubarbs, perennials. Evening primrose, perennial flower. I'm going to use these seeds. It's got all these little seed pods. Once it's ready to harvest seeds, I'm going to use those seeds like poppy seeds. So take my doughs, you know, and then, you know, make it like my pita breads. Taking my dough and then flattening it out on a bed of the seeds so it gets kind of like a seed crust. Compost pile. Overflowing real bad. The flowers. This is where the 2 Jersey blueberries were. They died off. So I put it this one, Duke blueberry, on sale, $4. Can't beat it. At Walmart. This is again my favorite fig tree. This thing is just incredible. So last spring planted it. You know, it was like a 6-8 inch tall stick. You know, when I planted it, and now it's 8 foot tall, probably. There. Got a couple baby figs going on. So definitely be getting a lot of ripe figs this year off of it. That's a bad spot. The hardy kiwi I planted there died, and then I planted passion flower there and it died. And I planted that grape. That's a grape. And it's struggling. It sent off that shoot right there, but you know, it's alive, but you never know how long. This grape's doing better. Still got a lot of growing to do. I got some trumpet vine, some jessamine, some wisteria. The other hardy kiwi, that one died, the male died. That female is doing good. If it were going to fruit this year, it would have made flowers already. So maybe next year it'll fruit. This is cool. This is just a wild tree. This is a red mulberry. It's got like a 2-prong, 3-prong, a no prong. A bunch of different kinds of leaves on it, just like a sassafras. Pawpaw, doing good. Another 4 years maybe before it'll fruit. The wild ones are fruiting. The fruits aren't ripe yet. That's pretty much it for the pawpaws. These two down here. Looks like the birds have gotten the rest of the pawpaws. They got a lot more to go before they ripen though. So hopefully these ones will still be here, you know, in a couple more months when these are ripe. And then the raspberry. It's had a couple bunches of raspberries ripen. Thornless raspberry. This one's produced pretty good. Well, out of my plants, only about 8 berries or something, 8 raspberries. But that's more than the rest. Got some fresh batches that aren't ripe yet. These are all-star strawberries that I've got everywhere, and they do more spreading than fruiting. But it could have been just since it was such a hot, dry spring that they didn't make much fruit. I think I'm going to get a different kind of strawberry for in the future. The goji berries are ripening. You know, those are like bite-sized red bell peppers. Very nice. Be doing some pepper and egg pita breads. I pulled most of my garlics. They're ripe. This one's starting to flower. The other ones weren't flowering. That one's flowering, so I'm leaving it. Kind of get a better look at what the flowers are. So there's some yarrow. So kind of, you can eat the primrose leaves when they're little babies. You know, on the ground, still the little ground things. You know, I'm guessing it's probably too bitter right now. You know, and then you could always make a nice. It's actually a really healthy herbal tea out of the yarrow. Yarrow is another one of the wildflowers I scattered over here. It's a good herbal tea and maybe insecticide or, you know, mosquito repellent. You never know. Probably not as good as citronella, but you know, can't hurt having it around. Got the mushroom log. I did find one other chicken of the woods so far, but it's too close to the ground to use. More of a standard how it should look though. Some more chicken of the woods. Nice orange top. A lot creamier. This one's a lot more vibrant than that other one. Creamy polypore belly, orange top. Banded, growing on a dead log, and chicken meat. It smells like a mushroom. Right on the ground, pretty much. Right there's where it's attached to the log, but this is just a few inches above. So it's covered in dirt and stuff. I do think if I find a prime chicken of the woods that's higher up off the ground, I'll try making a pizza, using it on a pizza, a supreme pizza with some of this. That might be good. You know, supreme pizza, you have mushrooms on it, so it would go well with that. Water collection in the back. I'm not sure if I really pointed it out good. Got a little cover to keep the leaves out. Goes into here. Once this fills up, I got a 2-gallon bucket. Move it around into another one. This, if it overfills into that. You just got this lean to it going this way, so it'll drain into there. You know, so that's overflow. Soil building stuff. Nice little mix. That's the premix right there. That, you know, I took half of that. You know, like 50% peat moss, 25% cow manure, 25% compost manure is what I got in that tub. And that's kind of for my potting mixes. Just fill the pot with that. So this is the main water collection. Put a screen on it to keep the leaves out, you know, so it doesn't get clogged. So it goes into there. So the whole point of doing these things is so they don't grow mosquitoes, you know. Mosquitoes don't work their way all the way down these tubes into there, you know. So it's kind of the mosquito larvae were just getting around my Brita filter, you know. It's either I think it's just a poor fitting filter, you know, or it's just a bad filter. They're just bad filters or something. They're poor fitting filters or bad filters. So I'd get some debris and the mosquito larvae, you know. And then for like drinking it, too much of a hassle filtering out the mosquito larvae because it just kept going through the Brita, so I'd have to use, you know, like one of those kind of sieves to get the mosquito larvae. So I'll just shake the jug, you know. When you shake a jug, the mosquito larvae go down to the bottom, so then you can drink, you know. And then you just never drink the bottom little bit because that's where the debris is. But it's kind of, you know, the top floaty stuff, there's an overflow. So the top floaty things, you know, go through the overflow and then into this can, you know, so then I can filter it out, you know, and then this can goes into this can. Got these connectors. This can connects to this, so it's kind of, they're all chained together. So the floaty things go through there, you know, and then this is a little spigot. I was using the water out there. I'm too tight on water to keep watering it. And so it looks like none of the beans took. It's been, I don't know, 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. And no luck. And then with this, the sediments, you can drain those out. And the floaties go out through the top. And in the middle, it goes over to a faucet. I was looking at the monitor on the camera and not at the tripping hazards. So this is kind of like a naturally filtered, you know. The heavy stuff is below it, the lighter stuff is above it, so there's really not much in this neutral buoyancy range. So this comes out pretty clear, without any actual filter. This collects the main of the water. This is a backup one I did because it's been such a dry spring and I need so much water. Each void is a gallon and a quarter, filling up the concrete voids, and it's not raining much, so I did up this thing. It's got some rocks to hold it, and to tighten it up in the center. That was kind of where the bottom of the sag was when I set this up. I got a big rock underneath there, and it's got a gallon jug with a rope kind of weighing it down so it doesn't blow around a lot. It drains into that one, and I can bucket it out of that one into these. Battery's dying. Let's see if I can get a thing. These plants, not good. There. My purple romaine, red romaine, regular romaine. Not much of a salad over here anymore, except for the kales. The kales are still doing good. So I can get some salads and pita sandwiches out of this. Mulberry, blackberry. These are some big blackberries. 8 or 10 figs took, these are my little fig cuttings. 8 or 10 of them took. 2 out of the 3 red mulberries took, or black mulberries. This black mulberry. That was a wild red mulberry back there. All 5 of the apples took. And these were some second batch of seeds. I thought they were pear seeds, so I put them over here, but they're actually passion flower seeds. So, got a couple passion flower vines. Got some citruses, limequat, and something else. This is a kumquat / lime hybrid, and that's a kumquat / orange hybrid. I thought they would be hardy around here since they're being sold around here, but they're not hardy below freezing. So I'm going to try to bring them inside this winter, so I got them in pots. But if not, put a plastic tub over those, put a plastic tub over those, and maybe put a plastic tub over those or something. None of my blueberries made it. There's 3 or 4 goji berries looks like they're pretty well established. They should make it. That raspberry, I think something's eating out the roots over here, because that raspberry was doing really good, but now it's just like, ugh. It might come back from the roots though. If the roots aren't getting eaten out, it might come back. Peppers and tomatoes. Got some beefsteaks, some Romas. This one's got some blossom end rot, but the other ones don't. There's a couple more over there. There's bigger beefsteaks over there. Got some jalapenos. None of my green bell peppers have flowered yet, but jalapenos and tomatoes are going. They'll go on the beans. Over here I scattered those kale and mustards. So it's like, there's a kale. There's a kale. There's a kale. Got like 4 or 5 kales. Got like 5 or 6 mustards. There's a mustard. There's a mustard. There's a mustard. It's a really big mustard. So I got salad greens over here, the mustards and the kales that I'll be using. Since those ones are bolted. Now I'm going to plant some more. It should hopefully, starting in August, get rain again. So I'm going to grow some, let's see what we got. That thing, the sumac. These are some garlics. Plant these Swiss chard and collards in trays. Keep them in trays in July and then hopefully transplant them in August once it starts raining. My garlics. Letting them dry. Got some mirrors. This is cool. This is a ground cherry right here. It's kind of like a tomatillo. It's got this, like a small orange cherry inside there. Once it's ripe, it's edible. You make sweets and savories out of it, depending on how you use it. Gonna plant a bunch of those seeds, ground cherries. A bunch of ground cherry seeds around once they ripen. That was wild, just growing there. So filled in the voids. Those voids are filled, and then those voids are filled up to there. Still got to fill in the voids over there. Current project is solar oven. Got some glass, some woods. I got some insulations behind the shack. Generators down there though. A lot of tools are down there, so I'm assembling it. Yeah, I'm putting it together down there, and then I'm gonna bring it up here, you know. Still got a little more of that and that. It's gonna be really tight on the cinder blocks. Tight on the water and tight on the cinder blocks. Finishing up the cinder blocks. I might be short on cinder blocks, and you know, I might be short on water. Just see how it goes. Later in July, I'm going to be moving logs. All the log piles on the driveway, I'm going to bring up here. Make this pile a lot bigger. Just a massive pile, maybe dismantle the winter shower. Just turn that into a big log pile. I want to pile them all up, you know, so I can cut some firewoods and tarp them off. Keep them from getting any worse. And just kind of clean it up a little bit, you know. You know, having piles of wood everywhere, so this isn't that good. Yeah, so that's about it. You know, biggest thing is, you know, the only real change, the water system. You know, I got it going up 4 foot. Kind of like a self-filtering system. Emergency water catch. You know, so I'm gonna do another little bit this evening once those primroses open up, so get a view of the primroses with the hummingbird moths. Hummingbird moths come from talking caterpillars. There's talking caterpillars out here. Forgot to tell you that. They don't really talk though. They just screech a lot. You know, it's kind of like